Welcome to LifePoint, a ministry focused on helping you find real life. Author and teacher of the gospel for over 30 years, Pastor Dell offers hope by guiding you step by step to the abundant life that God has for you. Let's join Pastor Dell now for LifePoint.
Welcome to LifePoint, your path to real life. I'm Pastor Dell Phillips. I'm your LifePoint host, and just want to say thank you for taking time to join in with us today for our LifePoint broadcast. We're going to quickly go to our LifePoint journal reading for today. This journal reading, very important. I want you to take some time to take in what we're reading today. When a man finds his true grounding point, he can accurately take aim at the higher, more significant matters of life. This is the reason I feel this is important. Sometimes we want to aim high. That's actually what we're going to talk about in our LifePoint teaching today. We're going to talk about aiming at life, but we have to understand something. Before we can take aim at something, it's very important for us to have our foundation established. And when we can truly become grounded, have our feet settled and positioned where we are supposed to be, to establish ourselves spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, then we can more accurately take aim at the things that are more significant in life. You know what I find sometimes, when we watch this kind of aimlessly take aim, I know that's a contradiction, in terminology, but sometimes we think if we can just start aiming at random at something, that's higher. We want higher knowledge. We want higher spiritual experiences, and some people, think that they can have some kind of a higher out of the normal realm of reality contact with some greater force or greater spirit, and then, name tag that, God or whatever. And they do that loosely, without having any true foundations. And watch this, it's easy to be carried away into something that you think is taking you higher, but you're really being taken astray because you don't have a foundation. It's important to have a foundation first, and then we can accurately aim at what really matters in life. We all have to come to that place where we're grounded. And when we get grounded, it changes our perspective about what's really important. Allows us to be able to aim at what really matters in life. That's what we're going to talk about today. So I want you to stay with us. We're going to go for a break, give you some more information about LifePoint, some of the ministry offerings we're making available to you. After we come back, we'll dig into our LifePoint scripture. We'll be right back after this message.
Many of us have spent years roaming down curious paths looking for our destiny. In our quest to satisfy our desire for happiness and our need for fulfillment, we have meandered down many different paths that it seems in times that we have lost our way. Now we are not sure of what we want. We don't quite know what would make us happy or content. We need help. We need directions. We need someone to point us to the single distinct path that leads to real life. This interactive DVD and workbook is designed to help you find the path that leads to real life. Order now so you can begin a new path and start getting the most out of life today. Workbook and interactive DVD are available online now for a ministry donation of $15 or more at www.lifepoint4.me. Or write to us at LifePoint Ministries, P.O. Box 201334, Denver, Colorado 80220.
All right. Now listen, I want you to take advantage of our ministry offering. As a matter of fact, we've been sharing this with you for the past several broadcasts, that we've upgraded the DVD workbook series from just being one DVD with one message and one lesson. It's now one composite DVD that includes the digitized version of our workbook, multiple DVDs, up to three, multiple videos, up to 3 ministry videos on one DVD, and a digitized workbook that goes along with it, all on this one piece of medium for the same $15 donation. So I want to make sure that you take advantage of this. Go to our website to order this product. We have 3 that are available right now: Life Series 101, Life Series 102, Life Series 103. Click on all of them so you can see which one best suits you for wherever you are in your current walk in your relationship with God. For those of you who are new viewers and you want to kind of get some information on the original teachings that set the foundation for our LifePoint instructions here on a weekly basis, you want to actually make sure you check out Life Series 101. So that you can get those foundational teachings. Others may want to, accelerate a little bit further beyond that. I want to encourage you to just check them out, read each one, find the one that applies to where you are in your relationship with God right now. $15 donation will get that out to you as quickly as possible. Also, when you go to the website, click on the Facebook icon, and I want you to like us on Facebook. We want you to join with us with our growing LifePoint community online. We have an online webcast that rebroadcasts several of the messages that we do here in our television program for LifePoint, and you get to share your comments, your thoughts, and to see some of the innovations of our messages and life journals that we share on our Facebook page that we're not able to bring you here on our live broadcast for LifePoint here on a weekly basis. So I encourage you to join in with our LifePoint community online on Facebook and to like us. All right. Now let's dig into our theme scripture for today. We're going to the book of Deuteronomy. We've been dancing around this scripture for the last several programs, and so it just makes sense that we come and zero in on it specifically here today. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. It says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. Wow, that's powerful. I call heaven and earth to record this day, underline that, against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Well, the obvious is staring at us in the face. We've been, as I said, we've been looking, using this as a reference point for this particular series, this segment that we are underscoring this importance of the life that God has given us. The fact that life begins with God and life ends with God, and God's intention is to preserve the life that he has given us. That we just shared that in the previous broadcast, how that in the midst of judgment, even in the midst of persecution, in the midst of devastation, that God's handiwork is shown, that his desire is to preserve, to protect, to bring life into the ark of safety, as he did with Noah, his family, and the life of the breath of life and the flesh of creation. He preserved that life. We also have been sharing with you that life is a choice. And we need to, we have to be honest with ourselves that life has been made available to us, but we don't always choose the life that's available. Life is something we have to aim at. We have to aim for life. Life is not going to just happen. Boy, this goes all the way back to some things we shared in the beginning. I know we, see on some bumper stickers, we shared this before, life happens. Well, it's not accurate. Life doesn't just happen. Life may mishappen. Life may, we may miss life. We may find that life is missing, but life doesn't just happen. Life is something we must take aim to achieve, to receive. So what are you aiming at? Are you really aiming at life? That's our teaching theme for today. We have to take aim for life. We have to aim at life, but we can't start aiming until we become grounded. We have to be established. We have to have a foundation that will then allow us to more accurately aim at what's significant in life, the things that really matter. All right? We can aim once we have our foundation. But let's look at what Deuteronomy says concerning the choice, the life choice that's set before us. It says that God calls heaven and earth to record. I want you to notice that. The opening part of that verse says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. Now, this is specifically written to the children of Israel as they are making their entry into the land that God has promised them, the land of life, the land that flows with milk and honey, a metaphor for the land of life, the land that God has placed his advanced blessing upon. When we study about the promised land, we discover that God actually signatured this land. He allocated this land, and he says, I'm actually blessing this land. I'm bringing you to the land that I have already pre-blessed. It's not like the land that you left. It's not like the land of Egypt. The land of Egypt, you had to carry water. It says you had to water the ground by your feet. In other words, they had to carry water to make agriculture happen in Egypt. They had to carry water to the places of planting. But God says, in this land that I've blessed, I'm going to cause the water to come from heaven. The rains of heaven will come in seasonally. The early and the latter rain, and the water will come from the rivers, the streams that will flow from the mountains that has been given from the rains that come from the heaven, and it will naturally water the land. This is the land that I'm bringing you to, the land that I have blessed in advance. God blessed this land before the tribes of the Hebrews ever arrived. It was already a blessed land. I'm talking about geographically. God says he literally put his blessing upon that land. Go check it out. Research that. Look into the background. He put his blessing upon that particular piece of land. Then he brings the tribes of the Hebrews into that land. Now here's the teaching point. He says, now, when you come into this land, you have to choose. You have to choose life or death, blessing and cursing. Hold on, Pastor, I thought you just said God already blessed the land. So since the land is blessed, then I should automatically be blessed because I'm in the land that God blessed. Ooh, wow. No, that's not the way it's going to happen. God says you have to choose life. You have to choose the blessing. Wait a minute, maybe we have a parallel here. I think the beginning of creation, watch this. God created the earth where he would bless the man. He created a garden in the land of Eden. He put the trees, he put the fruit, he put the watering system, if you will. The four fountains that literally had their origin in the Garden of Eden, that watered, the mist that would come from the ground to water the garden. Then he put the man in the garden. Are you following this? Watch this. God always begins with signaturing his blessing on the place that he's going to bring us. His plan, his purpose for our life. See, we keep coming back to this. God says, I know the plans. I know the thoughts that I have for you, the plans, the intentions, what I intend to do with your life. God says, I already know that. I don't need you to help me figure out my plan. God said, I don't need you to help me write your life plan. I know your life plan. I know everything about you. I know what I want to do with your life. What I need you to do is simply watch this, choose life. Look at what it says. Look at what it says. I call heaven and earth to record this day that I set before you this choice. You can never say you didn't have the choice. Heaven and earth will testify against you, against us. The creation around us, heaven and earth will testify against us if we try to cross into eternity and say we didn't have a choice to follow life. God says heaven and earth will testify against you. You had a choice. You had a choice to choose life. You had a choice to choose the blessing over the curse. Now look at the instructions here. It says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I set before you life and death, blessing and a cursing. Therefore, choose life. Here's the encouragement. I shared this before. God not only sets the choice before us, but then he tells us what to choose. Oh man, this sounds so familiar. Adam, here, I'm going to put you in this garden that I already blessed in advance. I put my signature on it in advance. Adam, you don't have to water anything. See, just like he says to the children of Israel, hey, I'm taking you to a land that's not like Egypt. You don't have to walk water to the place of planting. The water is going to come from the heavens. I'm going to take care of that. He says to Adam, Adam, I'm putting you in the garden that self-waters. It's fruitful already. The land, the promised land, the land that flowed with milk and honey, metaphor for the land that flowed with life. It was full of life. It was full of fruit already before the tribes of the Hebrews arrived. There was already life in the land. God says, but you have to choose. He said to Adam, Adam, I'm putting you in here, but you have to choose. Oh, watch this. Man, Adam, here are all the trees in the garden. Different kinds of fruits. Hey, but Adam, this tree over here, you can't eat off of this tree. This tree here, the fruit from this tree is forbidden. In other words, this tree here, is not for life. We have the converse. In the Garden of Eden, God tells man what not to choose. In the land of promise, God tells man what to choose. You see that parallel? With Adam, he says to Adam, don't choose this. With the tribes of Israel, he says, this is what you should choose. In either case, you shouldn't be confused. If you're Adam, you should know what not to choose. If you are part of the tribes, you should know what to choose. This is why God says, I call heaven and earth to record this day of what I've set before you. You and I are without excuse. We're not going to be able to walk into eternity and say, God, I didn't know what to do. I would have chose life if I'd have known that life is what I should have chosen. But I chose death. I chose cursing because I didn't know I had another choice. No, you're not going to get away with that. God says, heaven and earth will testify against you that I gave you a choice. You have to choose. Life is not going to just happen. We have to aim for life. We have to choose life. Man, could it be any simpler? God said, I'm setting it before you. Choose life. This is the choice you should make. Life is not going to just happen. You have to choose it. It's a higher choice. It's a choice that you and I have to make. Man, here's the other teaching point. Watch this. I just said it's a choice you have to make. But not only is it a choice you have to make, it's a choice you can make. Man, it would be different if this choice was not in our reach, if it was something we could not grasp, if it was something that was out of our reach. But no, it's a choice you can make. Not only is it a choice that you should make, it's a choice you and I can make. It's in our reach. It is reachable. Life is, watch this, accessible. It would be a different thing if the tree that Adam should have chosen was not available, but it was. The tree of life was right there in competition with the tree of death, the tree that he should not have chose, the tree that had the knowledge of good and evil. That's the tree of death in contrast to the tree of life. Trust me, if you can find the tree of death, you can find the tree of life. If the tree of death is accessible, so is the tree of life. With Israel, with the tribes that are now coming into the promised land, the land that flows with life, the choice to choose life and blessing was accessible. It was possible. God would be unjust to tell us to do something that was out of our reach. That's the truth. Life is reachable. Man, come on, I'm going to be honest with you. I know there are days we wake up and it seems like it's out of our reach. That God, I would choose life today, but I can't reach it. I don't feel life. I don't feel alive today. I feel dead. If we're willing to be honest, there are days, believers and non-believers alike, we wake up and we don't feel alive. But it doesn't mean life is not in our reach. Doesn't mean we cannot aim for the life that we want and need. I'm telling you, it's reachable. It is accessible. Ooh, I like this. Jesus says, I came that you might what? Have life. Life that you can reach. Life that you have access to capture. Life that is attainable. But you have to choose. It's not going to just happen. It's a choice. It's what we choose to do. Heaven and earth, the scripture says, have been called as a witness. God has recorded this in creation, that we have a choice. It's on record that you have a choice. I want to close with this thought. This is important. Man, just because we chose wrong once doesn't mean we can't have a second choice. I don't know about you. I don't like going to a restaurant that only has one choice, one thing that I can eat. I'm going somewhere where I have choices. I might not like that. I might not want that. I might have tasted that and I don't like that, so what else do you have? Just because we make a wrong choice once, a bad choice once, doesn't mean we don't have a second choice. Second chances, listen to me, second chances begin with second choices. Yeah, we always say God's a God of second chance. You're absolutely right. God is a God of second chance. But second chances begin with second choices. Can I be real? Just because God's a God of second chances, you choose the same thing you chose before, guess what? You're going to get the same results. No, don't get this twisted. Don't just say, well, since God is so graceful, since God is so loving, since God is a God of second chances, then he should just give me a second chance. He is giving you a second chance. He's giving you a chance to make a second choice. Don't make the same bad choice again. You didn't choose life last time? Adam, you chose the dead tree. Second choice, choose the living tree. Tribes of the Hebrews, if you chose wrong once, choose right the second time. You and I, we get it. We don't make the right choice. We make the wrong choice the first time. Let's choose right this time. Your second chance begins when you make a second choice. So that's really why God is the God of endless chances, because you always have a chance to make a second choice. There's somebody watching me right now, right this moment. I feel it in my spirit. You have a chance to choose again. I want you to know that. I want to pray with you. You have a chance. You're watching right now. You're hearing this message. You have a chance to choose again. It's not over. God's not mad at you. We started from that premise. God's not trying to destroy you. He's trying to preserve the life that's in you. God's not trying to get rid of you. He's trying to draw you to him. This is your chance to make a new choice. God, I pray right now that those viewers who are watching, who are hearing this program today, right now, God, I know that we all, at different stages in our lives, we become the consequence of our own previous choices that we've made. God, I thank you for the chance that you give us to make a new choice. God, I pray right now that those who are watching will recognize it's not over, but they have an opportunity to make a new choice. If you've just prayed with me, I especially want you to go to the phone right now. Call one of our LifePoint partners so that they can continue to share ministry with you. This is an important decision because you get to make a new choice. Share that with us right now. Go to the phones, call us, and allow us to share with you in ministry. Go to the website, check us out, www.LifePoint4.me. Make sure you click in on the Facebook so you can watch us, follow us on Facebook. If you want a copy of today's program, you can order it online, LP-45. That's all you have to do, LP-45. That's today's broadcast program. This is Pastor Dale Phillips encouraging you and challenging you to stay on the path that leads to real life.
Thank you for joining us today on LifePoint for this exciting new ministry that will help you move beyond the obstacles that prevent you from living real life. To receive a copy of today's message, we invite you to visit us on our website at LifePoint4.me. You can order your CD today for just $10 or DVD for just $15. A study guide for today's teaching is also available for a donation of any amount. And be sure to follow us on Facebook for excerpts of upcoming teachings and dynamic devotionals. LifePoint is brought to you by the prayers and generous support of viewers like you. So we invite you to partner with us by sending your tax-deductible contribution to LifePoint, P.O. Box 201-334, Denver, Colorado 80220. Until then, we'll see you next time as we continue on our journey to real life.